Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a recap of Season 3 Round 1 of SSR. Now I managed to totally cock up my round of SSR, so we're going to do a little bit of practice sessions here on what was the Yas Marina layout and sort of talk about where I went wrong. So basically for me it all went wrong, not so much laying down bad runs or anything, but totally getting the date wrong, because the competition for me sort of starts at about midnight my time, and I thought, for some reason, I thought it was on the Sunday night for me, but it turns out it was on the Saturday night. So even though I was only in the reserves leading up to the event, when I woke up on Sunday morning and checked the Discord server, I realised I'd gotten in. So I'd filled up one of the spots in the competition, so I was supposed to run, but obviously I was fast asleep because I had my dates completely mixed up. So I totally gapped it, totally my fault. I didn't check the dates properly. I think for some reason I assumed the last round I tried to get into in the previous season was on a Sunday night for me, which was the Easter day, or Easter night. For some reason I think I just assumed that it was going to be on the same Sunday, which was terrible on my part. I really should have paid more attention to the day and the time, and it's unfortunate, but I know there's plenty of other rounds I will get to run eventually. Luckily, even though missing the comp, I did manage to get into a friendly comp with a few of the guys on the SSR Discord that set it up. Had a good bit of fun in there. It's literally the first time I've ever run the Long Beach section in the comp format, where you do the 50 roll, and from a set marker where you launch into the course. And I was totally unprepared. I hadn't done any practice. I literally just jumped on my rig, except the game invite, and then the first time I got to run I was doing a lead, so I totally winged it and I totally messed it up. I'll play a little clip for you guys so you can see. But basically I come into the first turn a little bit too hot because I wasn't prepared. Because I hadn't practiced that initiation from that 50 roll, so I had no idea where to start from. I came in a little bit too fast, which meant I had to straighten up massively to watch off speed so I didn't smash into the wall. Luckily the guy following me made a pretty big mistake as well, and he went way off on the inside clip. So we both pretty much zeroed for that first run, and then the second run I was quite surprised we got it one more time, because I totally nailed the guy coming into the final hairpin, which was, I thought was just going to be, game over, but we got it one more time. And in the one more time we had the other guy ran the lead first, and he got a couple of wall taps, which I thought he had a pretty good run, but because it straightened the car up, I think he got zeroed for that. There was only a slight correction needed. I would have thought that would have been okay, but obviously it's not in the competition format. So he got zeroed for that run, and I was told over the chat that as long as I ran a clean run in the next run, I would have taken the victory. So I was trying to keep it clean. In the first transition I got a slight bump from the car behind, which upset my line and made me tag the two outside walls. So he got zeroed for that run from the contact. I was handed the win for that one, which I was quite surprised, because I thought I was going to lose after the chase run that I put down. But yeah, and then the next battle I was up against UNK Valiant, one of the admins for the SSR competition. First run he led and I chased him, and I felt like I laid down a really good chase run. I was sticking as close to him as I possibly could. I probably missed a couple of the clipping points by a bit, and it felt like a really solid chase. I really wish I could have seen the replay footage, but stupid Forza doesn't allow you to save replays longer than a certain amount of time. The replay just freezes halfway through, which is a pain in the ass. And then it was my turn to lead, and got a little bit overconfident and went a little bit too hard into the first turn and hit the wall on the first outer clip. So I zeroed on the chase run, which meant I conceded that battle to Valiant. But yeah, so it was only a practice run, so hopefully next round the sign-ups start on the 5th or the 6th of June, so I'll be getting in early as I possibly can to make sure I get a spot in that next run, because I definitely want to get into one of these competition runs. Yeah, so we're just going to chuck it on Long Beach real quick and do some practice, because I am desperately in need of practice at Long Beach. Right, so we'll just drive around the course here till we get to the FD section. Got these really tight, close ratio gears on this tune between 3rd, 4th and 5th, just so it's a pretty good all-rounder, and I can select a gear that will work really well on most circuits. Run it nice and close to that wall there then. Alright, now I've got to remember, because normally when I used to drift this by myself, I would start from this stop sign here. So I'd start from here and just accelerate up and do a mungie into the initiation. So I know how to enter from there, but entering from the drifts comp, I believe it was just up about here somewhere, approximately. So we'll just go from here, we'll do the 50 roll, and at 400 we gun it. Oops, and I've already hit the wall, so that's not a good start. Oh, and I lost my muffler. We'll get that out of the way. So we know how the trackside objects can wreak havoc if they get caught between your car and a wall. So it must be this black patch I'm on now that was the starting point. So right about here. Alright, so we start, do the 50 roll. Not too early, there we go. First inside clip. Way too shallow. Ooh, that's a little bit close. Lucky we didn't tag that then. We'll just tag that wall there then. Not too bad, a little bit shallow on the outside clip on the first turn, and tag that wall on the exit, which we've got to try and avoid. Last thing I want to do is get into the comp, lay down a wicked run, and then just tag the last wall and get a 0 for the run. Nearly collected that muffler back. Alright, so I think for my entry, I'm going to do a similar entry to what I did in my SSR practice. I'm going to use the gear change from 2nd to 3rd as my initiation. So we'll gun it. Wash off a bit of speed, not too much. Get that outer clip, that was nice. Wall tap. Throw on the angle here a bit. Dab of the brake. That felt pretty solid. Just got to get a few more runs like that in so I know how to replicate it and do it in the runs. So as you guys know that watch me, I do run simulation steering, and I always run the full 900 just so I can flick the car nice and quickly if I ever need to. Also because my wheel and force feedback setup is just pretty much on point, and it just feels right for me. We'll give this another go. Alright, the 50 roll. Launch at the 400. Whoops, that's not a good entry. A little bit of lag there. tight line through there, wash off the speed. Ooh, there's that wall again. Can be a little bit hard to judge the walls sometimes running in cockpit view, but I'm better at just the fixed view rather than the drift cam. I tried the drift cam a couple of times and it just really throws me off my line. I'm much more consistent with the drift cam turned off, so that's why I run fixed cam. Alright, so the initiation we've got to do it just after that wall so we don't clip it. Now I did ask UNK Valiant if opposite entries were allowed like I was doing on Yas Marina, but I never got a reply and I couldn't see anything in the rulebook, so oh, that feels actually really nice to do that. Just about tagged that wall a little bit shallow through here, but we've got mad angle. I actually quite like that entry a lot, it just feels so right for me. Just that whip from side to side, that's just the way I like to do things. And it kind of fits that that wall on the entry into that first turn as it sort of drops away. So hopefully at some point through this season I'll be able to, it'll mean the next season of SSR, if I do any decent, that is, unless if I fail, then obviously I'll just try again next season. But if I do alright this season, hopefully I'll be able to compete in the pro level next season and try and get into the ESDA series from there. So I feel like my driving is pretty decent, I just need to practice a few things for the competition style driving. Try not to do too many silly things like that. And just be super consistent. I think I'm smooth enough already. So my style is, well, I do like to throw the car around a bit. I do like to try and be really smooth, which I think is rewarded in the qualifying sections in the pro events. So yeah, I'll throw one more practice run down here, see if we can get a couple of wall taps in, but not too severe that we straighten the car up. Ooh, that's a little bit heavy. That's a bit heavy. Ooh. That's not what we want to do at all. So rather than trying to get wall taps, I think the key to this track is try to avoid the walls. Use all the road but avoid the walls. So we'll try that one more time. I do quite like that entry using the third gear to flick it left and then right. Whoops, a little bit quicker. Big angle, full lock angle. And that's going to wrap it up. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.